Did I wake you?
I was just falling off. Something wrong?
It got lonely out there in the living room.
I'm tired, Peter.
I just want to talk.
We can talk in the morning.
Why do you keep putting it off, Paige? It's inevitable.
Maybe I should sleep in the living room. I'm not fighting anything, Peter.
Good.
No.
You're making a mistake, Paige. A very bad mistake.
Good morning.
Good morning, Iris.
Oh, I'm sorry I took the retired so early last night.
Oh, don't worry about that. I understand.
I wanted to see you when you returned from the Marshall Ranch.
Well, it was rather late when I returned.
Lacey and I had a lovely dinner together.
Oh, where is she?
I just looked in on her. She's still asleep. She told me you talked to some man about buying his horse farm.
Yeah, a fellow named Dudley Jefferson.
Have you made a decision?
No, Jefferson has to make the decision. He wants to think it over.
Lacey has her heart set on the place.
Yeah, I know. Poor kid, I hope she's not too disappointed if the deal falls through.
Well, if you can't buy the Jefferson place, you can find another one.
That's what I told Lacey.
Then don't be so concerned about it. I mean, after all, you aren't in any hurry. You can stay here as long as you like.
Oh, no, Iris, it's not that. I know that we're welcome here, and I'm very grateful for that. It's, something else is bothering me.
What is it?
Ryan was at the Marshall Ranch last night. We talked.
No wonder you look so grim.
I also talked to Dr. Douglas.
Evan?
Yeah. I wanted to clear up the matter of Alex's death for once and for all.
And did you?
Yes. I don't believe that Ryan is responsible for Alex's death. And neither does Dr. Douglas.
Well, you're certainly entitled to your opinion. But you're wrong.
Hi, I'm Jeannie Halpern. Glad to know you. I'm Helen. Helen Small. You're not looking for a job by any chance? No, why? Well, I thought that since you were a friend of Mel's, you'd like to work here. I've been looking for a waitress to take over part-time. You sure you don't want to give it a try?
Yeah, I think you'd be real good waiting on tables, Helen.
Well, thank you, but I already have a full-time job right now. We can't blame a girl for asking. I will be in the office until we open. How are things going?
It's going fine. I haven't had to cook anything yet.
Well, what are you going to do when you have to start cooking?
Well, I worked in this galley on this boat I shipped out in once, and as long as they keep it simple, hamburgers and hot dogs.
What happens if somebody wants something more complicated?
Well, how more complicated can you get in a diner? Nobody's going to be ordering souffles for lunch.
How about that guy that was supposed to get the job? Did he show up yet?
No, not yet. That's why I'm waiting out here.
What are you going to tell him if he does?
I'm just going to tell him the job's been taken.
What happens if he starts asking all kinds of questions?
Well, I don't know. I'm just going to have to think of something.
Joe has your arm. Is it all right?
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
I still think you are crazy for trying to rub off that tattoo with salt.
I got to get it off.
I know, but that's just a dangerous way of doing it.
Well, it's the only way I know how. Well, I'm real glad you're here.
I am going to be so much help to you, Joe. And the sooner we find that money, the sooner you can write that confession and we can get Dennis Carrington out of jail.
You're not going to tell me who to work with.
Oh, you're wrong, Justin. I sure can tell you who to work with. You know, I didn't want Bubba Wadsworth associated with World Oil in the first place. My instincts were right. Bubba spells trouble. This company doesn't need that.
Alice Wheeler, your uncle, was interested in expanding World Oil by adding an oil production development division.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Alex had faith in me and my project. I delivered. I delivered on my promise to him. I brought in a well. I am not about to lose control of that.
Well, I'm calling the shots now. So you better get used to that, or you find yourself another job. You got that?
You're not going to get rid of me as easily as you did your Uncle Alex.
I think it's obvious that Ryan did have time to argue with Alex.
Were you in the sitting room when Ryan went in to see Alex?
No.
Where were you?
I was on my way to see Dr. Douglas on the 7th floor.
Did you see Ryan before he went to see Alex?
Yes. I ran into him in the reception room. He was there with Justin and Ashley.
Did you talk with him?
Yes, I did. And then Dr. Douglas joined us there.
Well, when did Ryan go in to see Alex?
As soon as Evan came. Evan was discussing new therapy techniques with me.
Where did that discussion take place? In the reception room?
No. We talked in the corridor as we were walking back towards Alex's room.
Did you go in?
No. Just as we got there, Ryan came out and told Evan he thought something was wrong with Alex.
Iris, I'm sorry to put you through this again.
It's all right. Grant, something very peculiar happened.
What?
A nurse came to the sitting room and told me Dr. Douglas wanted to see me in his office.
Well, what's peculiar about that?
When I told Evan that I had received his message and was on my way to see him, he said he hadn't sent for me.
Well, do you have any idea why the nurse might have said that?
Someone wanted me away from Alex. Someone wanted to be alone with him.
Iris.
Dr. Douglas knew I didn't like leaving Alex alone. He always came to the suite to talk to me. I should have questioned this before now.
Iris, isn't it possible that the nurse simply made a mistake?
The message was certainly clear enough. Dr. Douglas wants to see you in his office on the 7th floor. I would have been away from the suite for 15 or 20 minutes, perhaps longer. Now, Ryan knew I could hear everything that went on in Alex's room. I wouldn't have allowed him to argue with Alex about changing the will.
He didn't know about the will. Not at that time.
He knew Dennis had spoken with Alex, and he knew Alex well enough to know what Dennis meant to him. Yes, Ryan arranged for me to be in Evan's office while he was talking with Alex.
What are you insinuating, Justin?
I think you know what I'm talking about.
My uncle died of a stroke.
Agreed. But you just happened to bring on by arguing with him.
What?
He told you he wanted to change his will, didn't he, Ryan?
You're treading on very dangerous ground, Justin.
I'm not the only one who thinks you're responsible for Alex Wheeler's stroke. Iris Wheeler believes it too, Ryan.
I know that you're both wrong. Alex was dead when I walked into that hospital room.
All right. Think about this. Assuming that this hasn't already crossed your mind. One more day. One more day. Dennis Carrington would be running World Oil instead of you.
It's time for you to leave.
Maybe I should have my own investigation into the principles and the ethics of the great Ryan Connor.
You know, there are plenty of other oil companies around town. Why don't you try working for one of them?
You'd really like that, wouldn't you? Forget about it. I'm staying right here at World Oil, and I'm going to manage my own division the way I want to.
I wouldn't be too sure of that, Justin.
There's one thing that you can't be sure of. You're not going to be around here too much longer. I plan to see to that personally.